Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Temple Israel. We begin on page 10 with Hine Matov, how good it is to be together. Hine Matov, Umanahayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. 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 How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov, Umanahayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanahayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov, Umanahayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanahayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. Welcome to Temple Israel of Greater Miami. My name is cantorial soloist Karen Pincus, and I am looking for the live stream, and I think I'm going to find it. And I am turning myself down. Oh, okay. Well, we lost it. It's okay. Okay. So, apologize for that. I usually have Rabbi Morrison here, but I am joined today by Pat Seymour on the piano and Maria Ayerbe, our award-winning sound audio technician. And I do have some announcements. We actually have this weekend, we have a lot going on, actually. This weekend on Saturday, we have the virtual Slichot service in Havdalah with Rabbi Morrison, Rabbi Julie Jacobs of Beth David, and of course I will be there joining them, and we will be doing that by Zoom. And so please, you can get the rest of the link will be on the website. On Sunday school begins. Yay! So September 13th at 9:30, please join us. And if you have not registered, please also go to the website and register. Tuesday is Hebrew school. So looking forward to seeing all of our students again. Even if it's only virtually, it's amazing. And then we have Sunday 2 to 2:30, Rabbi Morrison will be teaching a how-to shofar blowing workshop. And then on Wednesday, on September 16th, 6 to 8 p.m., will be the first annual round challah baking competition hosted by Sisterhood. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. It was turned up before, and it's not working. So, okay, I would love to see you. Oh, wait. Hello. Jonathan Newman is joining us. Shabbat Shalom to the Newman family. Wendy Salzberg. Oh, we're going to miss you. Andrea B., Richard Lee, and Norma Orovitz. And she said, I remember our first service after 9/11, we draped an American flag over a chair, centered prominently on the bema. And yes, it is September 11th. And so, you know, maybe we should do something at the end. God bless America. We could do that. No? Okay. Pat's so agreeable. He's very flexible. I also wanted to say thank you to Louis from our maintenance team who's joining us. And then Chaya Shabbat is joining us. And Joan Schaefer and Roberta. And Brian Kellert. Hey, welcome back. James is Sarah, Sarah and probably Jose. Shabbat Shalom. Karen Weiss and Lana. Another Shabbat Shalom from Jose Fraga and Ellen Kaplowitz and Zoe, Janet Martinez. My gosh, there's a lot of you on. Denise, Lee, and the whole Rothschild family. Thank you. Matthew and Lee says hi to all our friends. Steve Citron, Diane Linder. My daughter's on. Lauren, hi. Okay. David, Shabbat Shalom, Wendy Belkin, Javier Brezdovan, and Joan Schaefer, and Jacob Berkovici, and Mark Nedlin, and probably Mark Lamb. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful Shiva yesterday. Chaya Lerner, and Jim Acera says, God bless America would be great, or even America the Beautiful. He's just, now we've gone too far. Sorry about that, Pat, I'm sorry, that's my fault. Okay, we're going to begin. Sorry, I'm going to laugh now. We're going to begin with Kabbalat Shabbat on page 11. Oh, no, we are not yet. We have a candle blessing. This is so much easier with two. So the candle blessing is on page 2. We are lighting the candles tonight in the memory of Sarah and Hyman Smith, parents of Roz Smith. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת. Amen. And we continue our service on page 7 with the reading. Where has this week vanished? Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. And now we go to Kabbalat Shabbat. We begin with Ele Chamda Libi on page 11. Husnave Anatitale, Ele Hamda, Hamda Libi, Husnave Anatitale, Ele Hamda, Hamda Libi, Husnave Anatitale, Ele Hamda Libi, Husnave Anatitale, Ele Hamda, Hamda Libi, Husnave Anatitale, Ele Hamda, Hamda Libi, Husnave Anatitale. Lechuna Ranana on page 12. Lechuna Ranana la Adonai, Nadria letzo yishenu. Lechuna Ranana la Adonai, Nadria letzo yishenu. Nikana fana betoda, Bismero nadrialo. Nikana fana betoda, Bismero nadrialo. Ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol al kol Elohim. Ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol al kol Elohim. Ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol al kol Elohim. Ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol al kol Elohim. Lechuna Ranana la Adonai, Nadria letzo yishenu. Lechuna Ranana la Adonai, Nadria letzo yishenu. Thank you, Pat. I'm going to say thank you all night now. We now turn to page 20 for the Lecha Dodi as we welcome the Sabbath bride. Lecha Dodi likrat kala peni Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala peni Shabbat nekabela. Shamor vezachor beribor echad ishmianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad ushemo echad l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala peni Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala peni Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechuvenelcha ki hi mekor haberacha merash mekedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala peni Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala peni Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri kiva orech kumi ori shida beiri kevod Adonai alach nila. Lecha Dodi dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Please rise if you are able and face the door of your home to welcome the Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha ובצהלה תוכמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. We now turn to page 22 for Psalm 92. It's the second verse down, Tov lehodot. Tov lehodot l'Adonai ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. On this the day of days, my lips shall sing your praise, for I know that you'll always be here surrounding me. Tov lehodot l'Adonai ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. My spirit takes release. I close my eyes in peace, and from my soul heard far above springs a song of love. Tov lehodot l'Adonai ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. I wish to understand the wonders of your hand, for all the blessings that are mine rise from your design. Tov lehodot l'Adonai ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. Okay, we are also saying Shabbat Shalom to Ninoska Lore and Sarah Leviton, Patty Tex Craven, and of course, and Elisa Pitchnick Charles, and the whole Charles family. Welcome. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, we are continuing. We will write with the Baruch Hu, our call to worship on page 28. Please rise if you are able. Lai, 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 la Yai, lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. And now this is the part of the service where we talk about our kids, because on January 7th gosh, it seems so long ago, of this year, just this year, our 4th through 7th grade Hebrew school students, and this is really relevant because Hebrew school starts this week, and I just wanted to teach them about the meat of the prayer, the main theme, the chatimah of a prayer. And we were sitting right on the floor in a circle. And what I did was we talked about what a chatimah was. We went through and they were picking them out from our siddur, our prayer book. And all of a sudden, I started having each of them give me parts of the prayer, like, blessed are you, Adonai. And then one student would say, and they said, who gives birth to the new generation in the universe. The next student, who creates the sun, the moon, and the Torah. The next student, who creates our past. And then another student, who writes our future. Another student said, who gives us our family. And another student, who gives us our friends. And then another student said, who gives us the things that we celebrate. I'm sorry about that, Maria. And then the final student said, who gives us the chance to do good and correct the bad. And it was amazing because I was writing it down, and then we came up with the chatimah, the main theme, right? Blessed are you, Adonai, who protects us and helps us through our lives. So somehow they did that. They did it because they worked together. They stood together and they worked together as one, which is part of our Torah portion this week. And they continue to do so, even virtually during this difficult time. And they did all summer long. So we're going to continue with the Ahavat Olam as we prepare for the Shema on page 32. Ahavat Olam, Beit Israel, Amecha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim. B'shokbenu v'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please rise if you are able for the Shema on page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. We continue with the Via Hafta on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot beinenecha וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We continue on page 39 at the top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. We continue with the Micha Mocha on page 40, our Song of Freedom. Yada die 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 da da die die die. Yada die 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 die. Yada die 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 da da die die die. Die 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 da da die die die. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora teilot hosefele, hosefele. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokeh yam livnei Moshe u'Miriam. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים. זיזילי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם לעולם ועד. ידה די 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 ונאמר כבוד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. ידה די 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 די, ידה די די די, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yeah die 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 die. Amen, amen. And now we turn to page 42, where we thank God for the shelter that we are given. The shelter that we are given when we go to bed, that we may rise up again. So grant, O God, on page 42, grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. This is Haparei Sukkot Shalom, the Chatimah of this prayer, and it is on page 42. Baruch atah Adonai haporeh sukkot shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai haporeh sukkot shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Adonai haporeh sukkot shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. We turn to page 44 for the Vishamru, and we say thank you to God for Shabbat. So here we go. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל Ki shishet yamim, ki shishet yamim, asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shameru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat letorot haberit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat v'inafash v'shameru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat letorot haberit olam. And now, please rise for the Amidah, our standing prayer on page 46. Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chatzadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Chozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofei cholim, Umatir asorim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umidom elach, Melech memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanat le'achayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol, Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, So this is the time in our service when we talk about gratitude. What are we thankful for? What are you thankful for? Rabbi Morrison has this pattern down perfectly. I am not as much, but I can, on page 58, I can read the Modim, our prayer of gratitude. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. And while I am doing this, you can write down what you are thankful for. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one, whose mercies never end, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. So now is the time, and let me see. Ellen, wait a minute. We have, Jose Fraga said, thank you, Karen, for teaching me to chant Torah. And he called me today at about 5:15 and said, do you have time? Before he has to come and chant. And I said, I have now. So we did that, and he's doing great. Then we have, let me see, Ellen Kaplowitz is grateful for my health and that of my husband and son. Amy, his fiance, her son's fiance, and our family and friends too. Mark Nedlin said, we are so grateful for all the love and support by the clergy and Temple Israel community during our challenging summer. 2 funerals, 2 shivas, sad, but they were filled with love, overflowing, and really, really they were, and we love you guys. Our marks. So in Chaya, grateful that everyone I love is safe. Richard Lee, thankful for my children and grandchildren. Melissa Fife, grateful for all my family, but especially for my oldest son who turns 18 tomorrow. Happy birthday. Javier Berezdoven, that the internet enables us to come together here tonight in spite of the required staying at home. Yeah, I agree. I'm grateful for that as well. Jim Acera says he's grateful for completing my first week back at work in good health, family, and friends. We're so grateful for that as well. Ellen says, Mark and Mark, she's grateful for your friendship and grateful that you give so much to the temple. Bridget Kabibi says she's grateful for creation, for family and friends, and to have a job and be able to help others. Karen Weiss says, so appreciative of our day teachers working through the stresses of the week with our kids. I agree. Benedict Cooney, grateful to serve a community in which our congregation strives to repair the world. Bridget Kabibi, Ezra, Big Ezra, is grateful for being alive. I'm so grateful you're alive as well, Ezra. Lauren, my daughter, grateful for all the beautiful people and dog in my life, for being healthy. Dog is Stella, for being in school again. I'm grateful for that as well. Sarah Leviton says she's thankful for all the support I'm receiving during my illness. Also grateful for the doctor stopping the medicine that I was allergic to. And the non-dairy frozen dessert I had tonight. I'm grateful for that as well. Denise is grateful for Karen. Oh, thanks, Denise. I didn't realize I was going to say that. Reagan, here he is, the man. He has said, I'm grateful for my dad for being here for me, for these hard times. My brother, sister, for being here for me during these hard times. I'm pretty sure that's what you meant. And he's also grateful for his brother, his sister, his Xbox, his Wi-Fi, his PC, his nannies, Lily and Mary, my cat, Marie, my cat, Malibu, and all the doctors. He's grateful to me for being the best tutor and his rabbi as well. He's also thankful for school and being here today. Lee is grateful to be here at services and to have Reagan at my side and my family to be well and looking forward to being back to a normal soon. I agree. So grateful to have such great clergy. Everton Diaz, grateful for life, family, small things, and Shabbat. And thank you, Chaya. I'll pay you later. She's grateful for me as well. Patty Tax Craven, grateful for the beautiful Shabbat services and the music, and that I'm able to share. Okay, Jose Linares, I'm grateful for being able to pass my kidney stone. Oh, wow. So thank God. Norma, she's just grateful. Norma and Michael are just grateful. Okay, we're going to say the Chatimah at the bottom of the page on page 58. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot. And, O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. We now turn to page 60 for our prayer of peace, our Birkat Shalom. Shalom Rav. This is the one by Michael Hunter Oakes that I've just recently introduced. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav. Ki ata hu melech adon, melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon, melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. V'tov b'necha levorech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך, בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav. Thank you, Pat. Did I mention that I'm thankful for Pat and for Maria for their wonderful sound and music? Okay. It's at this time that we take a few moments to say the prayers of our heart. There are some wonderful prayers in our beautiful Siddur. And if you didn't know, you can get that online as well. We're just I'm gonna actually go over here and sit for a minute. Okay. I just today discovered that Rabbi, actually just a few hours ago, that Rabbi wasn't going to be here. So I went online and I found a devar by Rabbi Rachel Cole Feingold that I wanted to share with you. It's called Living Like It's Hayom, Every Day. And we are in Parshat Nitzavim and Vayelech. It's a double portion. If you look online, you actually find some information about it. And you find that Nitzavim, right, means you stand this day. And then Vayelech, Moses went. So Rabbi Rachel Feingold actually focuses on Nitzavim. And she says, Parshat Nitzavim begins on the final day of Moses' life. The text emphasizes the significance of this with its repetition of the word Hayom, today. 5 times in the first 6 verses of the portion, we hear Hayom. So according to the biblical commentator Rashi, Moses knew which day he would die. He knows this is his last chance to address the nation. There is a principle in Jewish law that before death, a person is assumed to be speaking sincerely. Divrei shechiv mera. A person's words on their deathbed are as legally binding as a written contract, the Talmud says. Secular law has a similar concept called the dying declaration. We implicitly understand that when someone is close to death, they are speaking with deep sincerity. Regardless of whether these moments are difficult or serene, they carry great weight. We listen carefully. A person's last words carry deep significance. So on the final day of his life, Moses speaks words that are not new, but serve to refocus the nation on their relationship with God. The medieval Spanish scholar Ramban describes the events of Nitzavim as a repetition of the covenant of Sinai. On a practical level, it makes sense. Moses is speaking to a new generation who were either not present at Mount Sinai or were there as children. It is an opportunity for him to reiterate the national commitment for a new generation who are about to enter the land of Israel. But repeating the covenant and the rituals of Sinai also takes on extra significance because this actually was Moses' last day on earth. So even if the nation has heard these lessons repeatedly over the years, even though Moses has taught again and again about God's promise to our patriarchs and about the importance of following God's ways, the nation will listen on this day like never before. Hayom. On his final momentous day, Moses knew this was his chance to make a greater impact than he could have made on any other day of his life. So we read Nitzavim during the season of Teshuvah, or repentance, and the weeks before Rosh Hashanah. So in Pirkei Avot, the rabbis teach, repent one day before your death. But of course, we don't know. We don't know when our final day will be. Moses was unique in having this knowledge and was able to use his final hours wisely to make his dying declaration really count. So obviously, we cannot possibly adhere to this advice literally. So Rabbi Feingold goes on to say, perhaps the imperative here is to feel the urgency of our words and actions every single day. To live each day as if it were our last. I'm going to say that one more time. To live each day as if it were our last. What if we spoke each sentence as if it were our dying declaration? As if we knew people would remember those words for a long time. The process of teshuvah is one of realigning ourselves each day with the honesty and integrity of someone who is on their deathbed. This does not need to be morbid or depressing. It is a reminder to live every day to its fullest, to speak always with sincerity, and to focus on what is truly important. When worrying about money or business, when arguing with a spouse, when getting frustrated with children or friends, we might choose to live that day as if it were our last. In a moment of frustration, we might ask ourselves, at the end of my life, is this really going to matter? So in this way, we might reach the power of Hayom every single day. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, so those were beautiful words from Rabbi Rachel Feingold, and you can find that online as well. We are going to vary from the script. I was supposed to sing a song, Kehila Kadosha, by Dave Nichols. And instead, I'm going to be singing L'Dor Vador from Generation to Generation by Josh Nelson in honor of our kids going back to school. And you know, frankly, it's part of the portion too, because Moses was talking to that new generation. So here we go. One of my favorites. We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. L'Dor Vador. L'Dor Vador, Nagid God Lecha. L'Dor Vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. L'Dor Vador, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our heart, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. We are blessed and we are holy. We are children of your way, and the words that bring us meaning, we will have the strength to say. L'Dor Vador, Nagid God Lecha. L'Dor Vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. L'Dor Vador, these lips will praise your name. Join me. L'Dor Vador, Nagid God Lecha. From generation to generation. L'Dor Vador, Nagid God Lecha. L'Dor Vador, we protect this this chain from generation to generation. L'adore, adore, these lips will praise your From generation to generation, we will make your greatness known. Okay, now we turn to page 253, and we think about those in our lives who are in need of healing. Healing of the body and healing of the soul. I know that tonight I am thinking of Sarah Leviton, of Vivian Whitkoff, of Julie Miller, and of my brother, Robert Threadgill. Are you thinking of anyone, Pat? Maria? Do you have anyone? No? Louis, do you have someone you want to say Mishaberach for? No? Okay. If you have a name, please put it in the chat. Ellen Kaplowitz says Vivian Whitkoff, Sarah Leviton, Philly McNulty, Yehudis Leviton, Barbara Shine, healing for all who need it. Mark Nedlin says Sarah Leviton, Chaya Sarah Leviton, Doris Frank, Stephen Grossman, Vivian Whitkoff, Pacific Northwest fire victims and COVID patients. Absolutely. Jose Fraga says my Aunt Gloria. Norma Orovitz says Sig and Bruna Hertzfeld. Richard Lee says Patricia Tellisman. Gemma Sarah, Diana Sarah, Sophie Schrager, Joe Schrager, Sarah Leviton, Rosalina Linares, and, do I say this right? Kelly Epstein, or you'll help me with that. Vivian Whitkoff, says Diane Linder. Bridget Kabibi says, my friends, family, and all the others on the West Coast. Absolutely, I've been in a fire, guys. It is scary. Benedict Cuny says Don De Niro. Sarah Leviton says Judy Suno. Rabbi Arthur, Elaine S., Vivian Whitkoff, Shirley Spear, Sophie Schrager, Florence Schiff, and Dina Glazer, and herself. And we all are praying for you to get better as well, Sarah. And Elise says Sarah Leviton and Vivian Whitkoff. So here it is on page 253, Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Ve'Leah Hu Yivarech Ve'Rapeh et HaCholim Elna Refanala Elna Refanala Elna Refanala Elna Refanala Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Ve'Leah Hu Yivarech Ve'Rapeh et HaCholim Hu Yivarech Ve'Rapeh et HaCholim. And we now turn to page 282. We will be, for the Elena, and we're going to be opening the Ark tonight. for a very special lady. This is the yard site of my mother-in-law, Nancy Pincus, who raised a wonderful son and 3 wonderful daughters, and was just an incredible person. She is probably surprised to hear me say that, but she really was. Page 282. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כה כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום בהשבותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. We now our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us. We turn to page 290. And we are going to read reading number 5. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. And before we say the mourner's Kaddish, Kaddish Yatom, we want to remember those in our community who have departed this earth recently. This weekend or this week, we had the funeral of Emmanuel Manny Lamb, father of Mark Lamb, Alan Robert Breitner, Doris Zagan, Frida Breitman, Moisha Breitman, Alan Bisno, Susan Etta Johannes. Also, we are remembering these loved ones on the occasion of their yahrzeit. Flora Alchek, Louis Herman Aronson, Sol Bennett, Herbert Bloom, Anna Heyman Bright, Ethel Cohen, Adolph M. Cohen, Leonard Coleman, Joseph Coleman, Harry Danziger, Samuel Dreyfus, Benjamin Elson, Harriet Metzger Epstein, Ernestine E. Estreicher, Irving Feldman, Eleanor Fuhrer, Raymond Benatar Fish, Edwin Flaschenberg, Seymour H. Franklin, Martin S. Gold, Frida Goldberger, I. Richard Golden, Harry Goldman, Etta Gray, Molly Hecker, Ida Cadis Heilig, Bella Hoffman, Ella Schaff Hoffman, Sam Jaffe, Abraham N. Kaplan Sr., Samuel Kaufman, Sidney Kramer, Ida Landfield, George Landy, Arthur Layton, A. Melnicker, Bernice Meyerson, David Nabbat, Joe Perlman, Nancy Pincus, Annette Ranson, Judith Rothman, Rose Schwartz, Branya Siegel, Rita Silver, Nathan B. Silverman, Rena J. Simons, Sarah Smith, Joseph P. Stelzer, Sarah Stevens, Roberta Stoller, Albert Swartz, Harold Tobin, Morris Tomar, Leonard C. Van Vanwy, Edith Waxenberg, Sol Weinberg, Esther Winkle, Carl Winkle, Irvin I. Weinstein, Saul B. Uran, Edward Zoller. If I missed a name or if I pronounced the name incorrectly, please let me know. If you don't want to do it on the chat, you can let me know. Obviously, one of the things I wanted to mention, my mother-in-law did not pass away. She passed away on a September 11th, not in the Twin Towers. But most people are saying they want to remember those who died in 9/11. And then Melissa Fife, my stepdad, Joe Keogh, thank you, who passed 1 year ago. Reagan Rothschild says, all the people who were lost on the tragic day of 9/11, you may be gone, but will never be forgotten. And he also says Chadwick Boseman. Lee says thinking and remembering all those who died on 9/11. And Janet Martinez says Barbara Weinger, Miguel Padron, Ronnie Schwartz, and George and Blanche Weinger. I have to say, I just want to make one statement. One of the things that we used to do whenever we had people here is Mark Nedlin was always early. And he would come in, and we would take the list to him often. And he would tell us how to pronounce names because he knows everyone. So, Mark, I miss you in more ways than one. We turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish. And we rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Bi'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'meru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel. And together we say, Amen. So we are now going to turn in our, there it is, page 376, God Bless America. Huh? Okay, he doesn't have music for that. America the Beautiful on page 377. Oh, we could do God Bless America just in G. 377. Yeah, no. So we have the best pianist in Miami sitting right here doing this for me. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. America the Beautiful. Please, guys, stand if you can. And before we start, keep going. I want you to remember that tomorrow morning we will be live on Zoom at 10 o'clock. And then at 11:30, there will be Torah study at Joseph's table. So we're going to start now. Here we go. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above a fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet whose stern impassioned stress a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty and law. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, 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 may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness and every gain divine. We're going to keep going. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Shabbat shalom, everybody.